You are listening to Studio MacGyver's Dragon Ball and Video Game Podcast.
What is going down, guys? It is your boy, Studio MacGyver, and you are listening to Studio MacGyver's Dragon Ball and Video Game Podcast. Welcome to the show. Happy Labor Day 2019. You guys might be listening to this a little bit late, but you're listening to it, so I guess that's all that matters. It's been an interesting week for me, guys. I don't know about you, but I've had a great fucking week. I had barbecue. I got that done. And one of the most important things I think I've done in the last few days is pick up Astral Chain. And I'm going to get into that game a little bit later, guys. I want to tell you my impressions so far of the game. I hope to have a review for you guys next week on next week's podcast. And yeah, I'm going to get to that. But so many things to run down today. We got some Game Informer information. We got some Disney Plus talk. We have some rather disturbing news for Funimation, which, man, in today's world could go any kind of fucking direction, any kind of way. I'm kind of scared about that. We got some games, that I'm anticipating. Basically, we got a lot of shit coming now in September. Man, I mean, just when you think, you've seen them all, then you get more that pop up on the radar. So it's like, damn, it's never enough time, never enough money to get all these fucking games, man. So many things to talk about, guys. Anime that I've been watching lately. I've been consuming a nice amount of anime this past week, and I'll talk about that a little bit. So many great things. Let's get into the shit, man. First and foremost, I want to wish everybody a happy Labor Day. And if you're new to this podcast, I would like to welcome you and say thank you for joining us, and I hope to see you again. We talk all things nerd culture here. Anime, video games, those are the main topics, but everything else in between, we talk movies, we talk comic books, we talk all of those type of things, man. Nerd shit, nerd culture. And that's what we do here. So I hope you like what you hear. And if you like those things, then I think you come to the right place. I want to talk about some Disney Plus stuff. Disney Plus is right around the corner. If you guys don't know, it's basically Disney's own network, kind of like, Hulu or Netflix, but it's their version of it. They've got a lot of shows, on the radar, a lot of shows coming to that network. I've talked about a lot of them on past podcasts, and got some new news recently, which kind of hurt a little bit, kind of stung a little bit. Basically, my expectations for some of these future shows, basically what I mean. And what I mean is they decided to go PG-13. So basically anything stronger than PG-13 they will not have on their network. It's just not going to be there. So they're not making anything for Disney Plus, R-rated. And, for a lot of fans, it might be concerning depending on, what's out there or what's on the horizon. So I don't know if Deadpool, I guess we won't be seeing Deadpool on there. So I wonder what, they're going to do with that. Now, there are whispers in the street. There are people talking about, they've got something going on with Hulu. So anything that they have that is stronger than PG-13 will probably end up going there for the most part. And I hope that that is really true. I hope that, bears some kind of fruit because, I have Hulu and I fuck with Hulu hard body. As a matter of fact, Hulu, man, I have to apologize to Hulu because, I just don't like the way that I don't like the way their program was set up, or I just didn't know what I was doing or how to look for what I was looking for because, I couldn't find all the anime that I wanted to watch. But then I started toying around with the app and navigating through it. And I went to like the A to Z, basically, department I found. And then I found a gang of fucking anime, like so much. So my anime list has gotten pretty fucking fat. And I'm watching some that I've been meaning to watch for so long, and I'm finally getting around to it now. And I'll get into that as well. But yeah, Disney Plus. Yeah, that's what they're talking about right now. So I don't know, guys. I mean, when more things develop, I'll keep you posted. I just thought I'd mention that. As far as the Tokyo Game Show, we got some Tokyo Game Show stuff. That's coming up very, very soon. Tokyo Game Show is from September 12th to September 15th. And they like to focus on a lot of games that I, look for. This Sony should have a nice turnout at the Tokyo Game Show because it's about Japanese games, and it's got a lot of Japanese developers that are going to be there. So I'm very interested to find out what's going to happen there. There's going to be a lot of things coming out. One of the things that has been announced is a new Resident Evil project that they are currently working on now. So much, in fact, that they've already got video game footage coming, and they're going to debut that. It's called Project Resistance, and it's it looks like a different take. There are already screenshots out there in those video game streets, and it looks to be a brand new IP. When we talking about Resident Evil, I don't know what kind of game is going to be co-op or what's going on, but we'll find out more information. But yeah, that ought to be interesting and see what they got going on there. I hope it's not like an online only game, man. Please don't let it be that. But we'll find out, man, very, very soon at the Tokyo Game Show. Actually, they talked about maybe even showing it a little bit before that. I want to say September 9th. But, that's here nor there. I wanted to lay that Resident Evil information out to you guys. So there you fucking have it. There's also Capcom, pretty much some remasters coming from them that are going to be announced at the Tokyo Game Show. So Capcom has some other things up their sleeve, and I'm wondering what games are those going to be. I'm hoping games like, Beautiful Joe, stuff like that, we get to see for the Switch. We get to see some remasters like that coming. I don't know, man. Who knows? But like I said, I'm going to be, tuned in to the Tokyo Game Show because I can definitely attest to games that are going to be coming out that I know personally I'm going to enjoy. That's the whole reason why I got a PlayStation. And, Nintendo's also a Japanese company. So, I mean, there's just so many great things. Nintendo Switch is finally, in my opinion, just come full circle, and it's here now. It is officially here for my standards, at least, man. I mean, they're working with something. That's what I'm going to say also. Zelda, I'm sorry, not Zelda. We'll get to Zelda in a minute. But Mega Man has a Legacy collection, a Mega Man Legacy and ZX collection coming pretty fucking soon, okay? There's going to be also some new fucking information on a new Mega Man series. Yes, coming. I think it's a game series. Yes, don't quote me on that, but it's a series, and I'm hoping that it's a game series. I think it is. I think somebody said that they were in developing something. We shall see. We shall get to that. But yeah, all you Mega Man fans out there, man, hey, rejoice, because I think we got some new shit coming. What I want to talk about now is Astral Chain. I have to talk about it. I've been playing it when I first got the game. Let me give you the quick rundown. I pre-ordered it at GameStop. The crazy thing is I didn't buy it from GameStop. I never ended up picking it up from GameStop because Walmart decided that they are going to release Nintendo Switch games for $10 cheaper if you buy it on day one. So if you get a game and you buy it on day one, it's $10 cheaper. And you know what? I thought something was funny and fishy when I went to go buy Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. I went to Walmart and picked it up. And, I'm ready to pay $65, but it was $10 cheaper. I'm like, I thought they made a mistake. So I didn't say anything. I just said, fuck it. Cool. I'll pay that. And I thought I got away with something. But upon further review, I guess this is all in Walmart's plan. And it's a pretty smart fucking plan, especially if you're waiting on certain games. They're taking money away from like places like GameStop and all of that. It's a trip because, they have two advantages doing that. One advantage being Nintendo, especially, you guys know, they don't do midnight releases. They don't do the typical midnight release. You have to wait till the next business day. That's why GameStop never has midnight releases. So I had to go to Walmart to get Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 because they weren't going to be selling it until 10 o'clock the next day when they opened. Astral Chain, I just went ahead and waited, but I got it day one. and it was $10 cheaper. Matter of fact, I got the last copy. And when I picked my copy up, there was a guy in Walmart who was smiling from ear to ear, looking at me, and he had what in his hand? A copy of Astral Chain. So we were two happy individuals in that fucking store. But that is why I picked it up, for $10 cheaper. I mean, if they're going to be doing that for the Nintendo Switch games and, games I want day one, I mean, I'm just going to go to Walmart and, hence another nail in the coffin of GameStop if, you look at it like that. But hopefully GameStop has enough statistical fortitude to lace up their bootstraps and get some shit popping, especially with some of this retro stuff. And they can stay afloat out here in these video game streets, because I still, need GameStop for time to time for this and for that. And, they have a lot of games that, the average store is not going to carry, because that's, this is how it is. So hopefully they can survive. But picked up Astral Chain, guys, came home. I literally played 12 straight hours on it. And they had to pull me away from the Nintendo Switch. They had to drag me away from the Nintendo Switch, because that game is pure fucking awesomeness. If you own a Nintendo Switch, you owe it to yourself to play this game. This is, I think, going to go down as my favorite Nintendo Switch game. It's already my favorite Nintendo Switch game, period, right now. Now, as far as my 2019 game of the year, right now, my game of the year, this is looking like that game. So far, I haven't played anything else that I loved more in 2019, and I think this one is going to win. I mean, there's still a few more months left. We still have Star Wars. We still have a few other games coming. But with that being said, I truly fucking believe that this is going to be that game. This game was everything that I hoped it would be and more. And like I said, I'm not even halfway done with the game yet. I think I just unlocked my fourth Chimera, and that's where I'm at. And if you were not familiar with the game and how it works, you get 5. So, the game, is just ramping up, and it's fucking amazing. It's a easy to play, hard to master Platinum's game, IP. And I think they hit pay dirt with this. I mean, this is a brand new IP. I think this IP we're going to see more of it. We're going to see sequels. I just know we are. They have a hit with this game. The reviews are out. I've already seen like a half a dozen reviews, maybe even more, and everybody is singing its praises. It's got a lot of 8s. It's got even more 9s, and it does have some 10s as well out there. So guys, I mean, if you don't have this game, you need to pick it up. You absolutely have to pick it up. I mean, it's got everything I need. It's got everything I always knew I wanted. Let me say that. It's an anime style game. The art style is fucking phenomenal. Then let me just say that some of the best graphics on a Nintendo Switch that I have seen, period. I mean, it's just a beautiful game. It runs 30 frames per second, which for whatever reason, looking at some reviews, they were saying that some people might have a problem with that, but I don't give a fuck. I don't notice it at all. The game is fluid as fuck. The load times are stupendous. And it's just a great game. I mean, I'm still unlocking stuff. I'm still trying to, do some things. But, I love this game. I fucking love this game. And like I said, easy to play, hard to master. I mean, I don't know what I'm doing right now. I'm out there just, taking the basics and working. But they actually give you, a place at the police station to go and train. So you can go and train whenever you're at the police station and practice your combos and practice, using all your chimeras and learning all your abilities and things of that nature, man. It's so good. That's all I'm going to say. I mean, I'm going to give the whole review when everything is done, when the story is finished and all of that. But right now, man, this game is looking to be that fucking game. And I'm so happy. I'm so happy for Platinum Games, which is one of my favorite developers. And this even makes that even more, of a fact. These guys are awesome, man. They are. And what I fucking noticed also as a Platinum Games fan, and if you guys listening, just something I picked up on while watching and playing the game. When you're doing combos, at the end of combos, there's a symbol or a signal where if you press, the right button at the right time, you can, induce an ultimate kind of, move on your opponent, flashy kind of thing. And, what I noticed is that flash that little indicator is actually the Platinum Games part of their logo, which is a letter P, and it's got this, looks like a diamond kind of, or a star shining in the distance. And that flash, you get that flash every time, it's prompting you to do a combo. I thought that was just something dope that Platinum Games just threw in there. And if you're a Platinum Games fan, you might have picked up on that. But yeah, man, I'm going to stop there on this game, and I'm going to walk away from it. But man, I have to say this game is just so good, guys. I'm sorry to keep keep talking about it like this, but it's great. It's fucking great. And we have so many other games coming, in September now, which is, upon us now. It's crazy. I mean, this game came out pretty much damn near the last day of, August. So yeah, it was right for me to, be obsessed with this game, and excuse me, deservingly so. Deservingly so. I don't know what else to say. Just play this fucking game. Okay, guys, please. Please play this game. That's all I'm going to say, man. This is why I bought, a Nintendo Switch. Games like this. That's the reason. Right here. Moving on. Children of Morta is a game that is actually coming out on September 3rd, Tuesday, which I'm upset about because it's not coming out for, the Nintendo Switch. It's not coming out for PlayStation 4 or, any other console except for PC right now. It's a dope looking RPG retro style game. And I'm a sucker for these type of games, games with the graphics similar to, I can't even think of a game right now on top of my mind, but Hyper Light Drifter, things of that nature, graphics like that, that in that area, in that family of games graphically, this game falls under that umbrella, and it's a very interesting looking game. It looks to be very interesting in story, and I want to play it. It's one of those games I want to play, but we have to wait till October 15th to get it. But I just thought I wanted to mention it real quick to you guys. If you're looking for like a game, if you are into those type of games, RPG, retro style, looking titles, and then you want to probably take a look at this game. Children of Morta. It's an RPG. It's beautiful. It's from 11-Bit Studios. And, if you have a PC, hey, go out and get it on the 3rd, on Tuesday. You can get it now. And I think Steam is where you can cop it. But October 15th, that's a game to look forward to. October is another beautiful month coming with some dope games. I mean, you have Luigi's Mansion on Halloween, and you have this game here. So many great things. So I don't know what I'm going to do, man. I got to do something though, because I got to pick up on some of these indie titles. We got some dope games. We got some dope shit coming, guys. Anyway, Children of Morta, check that shit out. Definitely check it out. Let's talk a little bit about Cyberpunk 2077. There's a new video that was recently released, and they let us in on some new gameplay, some that the press got a chance to see before we did, of course, and then of course a little bit here of some new. And I think they know it. We definitely know it. When this game comes out, it's going to break all kind of records. I think it's just one of those games, man. It's going to be one of those game changer games. Project CD Red knows, or CD Projekt Red, I'm sorry. They know that they have digital crack. They're sitting there in the trap house right now, cooking up digital crack, ready to distribute it into these streets. And it's going to go fed. I'm telling you guys right now, it's going to go fed. I mean, the way that they allow you to, the freedom that they give you in this game is, is going to be so good. The customization is just going to be crazy, man. I mean, there's different play styles that you can cater to, but I've always been a hybrid type of player, and able to have that freedom just it just opens everything up, because you can just make a hybrid. I mean, there's guys talking about, I want to be a cyber ninja, where you got the sneaky stealthness, but you're also pretty strong, and you can hold your own. I mean, I just cannot fucking wait for this game. I mean, there's nothing else to say about it, guys. If you haven't seen the new gameplay video, just check it out. You know, this game definitely can't come soon enough. And when I buy a game from CD Projekt Red, I know I'm buying nothing but fucking quality. And they show it in their games. They show it in even what you get when you buy one of their games, a standard edition game. I mean, game companies like these don't come along often anymore. I mean, they're a dying breed. And I think that we need to definitely pay homage to game companies like this, who take care of their customers 110%, don't leave them wanting for anything. And these guys are doing it. I mean, they've already done it with Witcher 3. If you have not played it, definitely check that out. That is a fucking masterpiece in itself. And these guys are doing some really great things out here. And they wouldn't be showing us all this stuff, man, if they weren't confident in what they were doing. You know, so much stuff early now. They're starting to, you know, bring it out and show us things. You got a couple of butthurt people out there who, you know, think that some of the themes in the game are, you know, a little too sensitive. Well, or they're a little too sensitive to some of the themes in the game. But like I said before, and I'll say it again, it's a fucking video game. It's meant to, you know, be a fantasy. It's meant to be, you know, entertaining, just like TV and just like movies. There's plenty of offensive, quote unquote, movies and programs out there. But what do? Do you watch those? No, you just don't watch them. If there's something out there you don't fucking like, you just don't watch it. And that's how they should treat this fucking thing as well. The only reason why it's getting all this flack, well, some of the flack, is because it's a huge title and millions of people are going to be buying it. And there's got to be a couple of people who need to stir up some bullshit. And that's just how it is. That's just the society we live in now. And these motherfuckers who are doing it probably don't even play it. Or if they do play video games, I can almost bet my bottom dollar all the shit that they talk about this game, that they'll have a fucking copy of this game as well. They're not fooling anybody. You're not, you know what I mean? So if you don't like the content, don't fucking buy the game and don't watch the fucking content, period. This is a fucking masterpiece in our midst. You know what I mean? And anybody trying to shit on that needs to go somewhere and disappear. Do whatever the fuck you want, but just stay out of here. Stay out of this lane, okay? Just like comedy and things of that nature. I mean, the world is really starting to become extra sensitive. You can't do anything now. You can't make a game you want now. It's crazy. If you don't like it, don't fucking watch it. Period. Simple. Don't play it. Simple. Period. Cyberpunk is coming, and I don't care what anyone says. I'm buying the game. There's nothing that anyone can tell me to convince me not to buy this game. It's not happening. Okay? It's just not going to happen. So definitely be looking out for that. I mean, it's so many things on the way. There's so many things that are already out here that, you know, I've missed personally, and I'm sure a lot of us have. And it's just that type of thing. If you don't have the paper, you know, you're not going to nobody's going to have, no one's ever going to be able to, unless you're just rich like that. You're going to get everything they want. You know what I mean? When you want it, put it like that. I mean, there's easily probably a dozen games out there right now that I would like to have, but I'm not going to be able to, you know, partake in that right now because, you know, of money. Excuse me. When games come out and more games come out and time passes, you know, and prices drop and you have things like Black Friday come around, then, you know, that's where, you know, I take advantage of that backlog and I pick up some things that, you know, I missed or whatnot. That's the beauty of, you know, part of being a gamer. Now, you know, it might be a little bit different with Nintendo because Nintendo, you know, if you guys don't know, they are known in these video game streets to be stubborn with the prices. Their games hardly ever go down in price. You have to catch them on a sale. And yeah, with Nintendo, you know, I really like physical sales. Digital space and sales are for, you know, indie games for me, games that I can't, you know, necessarily get my hands on physically. But, you know, other than that, I would prefer all of my Nintendo Switch games to be physical. And, you know, those prices aren't going to drop too often. So just be getting ready to pay pretty much full price for these Nintendo games, especially the first party games. You're definitely going to pay out of pocket. Plus, you know, if they're AAA as well. Now, you might get lucky with, you know, some lower tier games and you might get some price drops on those. That has happened. I have seen that a little bit, but for the most part, you know, the Marios, the Zeldas, you know, the new IP type of titles, you're not going to get that, you know. But it is what it is, I guess. I'm cool. I'm happy. I'm content right now. I still have games in my backlog, but yeah, I'm enjoying myself, man. All right, guys. I want to talk a little bit about some shit that's been happening out here in these streets. Okay. It's got to do with Funimation, man. And it's very heavy because it's Dragon Ball. Anytime you have Dragon Ball and Funimation drama, I get nervous, man. I mean, and like I said, I was just talking about how the world is today and how sensitive people are and how, you can do something years ago, and it will fucking come back and it will fucking hang you. What's going on right now with Funimation is dismal, to put it in terms, to put it in words. Right now, there's been some audio leaks. I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard about it. Okay. These are old as fuck. 10, 15 years old, some of this stuff. Okay. From a lot of the voice actors from, some of the American voice actors from Dragon Ball. And they basically are in the booth, doing outtakes or whatever. And, saying some unsavory things with their voices, with their, and like I said before, guys, they weren't meant to be listened to. They weren't meant to be leaked. I mean, they were outtakes. They were fucking around in the studio, making jokes and playing around. But a lot of people, are upset now because I think the word fag was used in one of the references. Like I said, this is like 10 years to 15 years old. Guy, voice of Goku. I mean, a lot of these actors are saying some things here. And, the whole Vic issue, Kick Vic and all that shit that was happening now where they basically cut his fucking throat out here in these acting streets, these voice acting streets. He can't get a job. Nobody wanted to touch him with a 10-foot pole. It was like guilty by committee. Everybody just piled up on him. And I think it went full circle now. I mean, I think now this shit is coming up and this is like, was trending. I mean, so anything you have trending, that could be a definite issue. I mean, you know how big Dragon Ball is out here in America, and this has so much potential to fuck up everything in the world of Dragon Ball. And just thinking about that shit, it saddens me. You know what I mean? Because guess who's suffering for this? Guess who's going to pay the price? We are, the consumer, the fans of this series. We're going to pay the price. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say. I mean, the shit is old. They're taking this shit. I mean, it's a story. That's basically what it is. People do shit for stories. They know how people are going to act and react. Toei is not happy right now. They're not very pleased right now. So this could go a number of different ways. Could you imagine not having, the voice of Goku, Vegeta, Piccolo, could you imagine like not having that anymore? Like moving forward with Dragon Ball Super, that could just be catastrophic. Kind of like how I felt when Linda Young stopped doing the voice of Frieza and they put somebody else there. It was a fucking ear shock. It was just, and honestly, I still am not over that. You know what I mean? Because I grew up on Linda Young as Frieza. I mean, that Frieza's one of my favorite characters, and I associate Frieza's voice with Linda Young. And I always fucking will. It's just one of those things. Just imagine that happening to all the cast of the characters. Just imagine that. If they lose the fucking Funimation loses this deal, it's a wrap. I mean, they're going to give it to somebody else. Somebody's going to get it, have it. If it worse comes to worse, but it won't be these guys. It could be other guys imitating these guys. It could be, who fucking knows, man. But the potential is disastrous. And it's very, very likely that some bullshit could happen like this. I don't know. And like I said, all this shit was old and it happened in the past. But, in today's society, you're never safe. You're never fucking safe. So I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I'm saddened by this shit. I'm a little bit depressed by this shit. And I'm just hoping that, moving forward, they find a way to remedy this. And because it's not a big deal to me. It's like I said, these guys, they were outtakes. They were fucking around. So that's how I look at it. I mean, hopefully they look at that as well. This didn't happen last week. This didn't happen last month. It happened years and years ago. I just hate to see that for, Dragon Ball as a Dragon Ball fan. And I hope nothing happens. Honestly, I'm waiting on Super just like everybody else is. And I'm wondering what the fuck is going on with them and why they're taking so long with that. Hopefully, they get around to it, soon, because I'm tired of fucking waiting. I'm getting very tired of waiting. But they're trying to whet our appetite. They're trying to keep us satisfied somewhat. I mean, we got a Dragon Ball game coming out, I can't wait to play that. That game's going to be awesome. And like I said, another thing, what are they going to do with these voice actors on that? I mean, are we still going to get, the same, are we going to be cool with that? I mean, are they going to strip the vocal? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. And hopefully, it doesn't. I mean, hopefully they realize that this was just old as fuck, and it just, you know what I mean? They warn them, or they talk to them, and that's it. And that's that. But I thought I had to talk about this. I had to bring that up because, man, it's frustrating. I'm going to leave it alone now. I'm going to put it on the table and walk away. I don't know, man. Somebody could be warming up some butter, and it could be a wrap out here in these anime streets for Dragon Ball. We'll see. We will see. All right, guys. I was talking about September. I was talking about game releases, and there are a shitload of fucking games coming out in September. I mean, there's more than I have on this list. I don't have a big list. These are just the ones that I'm looking out for and I'm excited about. And here they are. PS4, we got some Borderlands 3. We got the Surge 2. I know a lot of you guys are waiting on that Borderlands 3. Final Fantasy 8 Remastered, and Code Vein, which I think is coming out on the 27th. Yeah. So I'm going to wait a little bit longer for that Code Vein and let it drop and see. But I'm very interested in that Code Vein game. I really am. And I want to see what's going to happen. And, it's going to be hard for me to make some decisions in September because, I'm also big on indie games. And I appreciate, a lot of those games out here. So I'm interested in a couple of those too, because we also have Blasphemous coming out. And we also have River City Girls coming out in September. So those two games, I think I said a little bit about them last week. I want to say I did. You guys need to check those games out if you haven't. If you know anything about, retro style, Metroidvania mature games, then Blasphemous is one of those games. It looks fucking awesome. And River City Girls, if you're into the beat 'em ups like I am, and the retro style beat 'em ups at that, with a new twist to them, it's totally anime. It's got that kind of feel to it. Beautiful art style. Definitely check this game out, guys. I cannot wait to play this one. I definitely will be adding this to my list. I think it's around $30-$35. A little pricey, but it's coming. There's actually a physical copy you can buy, a limited edition. There's like 2,400 to 2,500 copies available. You can get them from around $75 online. Physical copy. If not, then, you have digital. So that's out there for you. But I would definitely check out that game. There's also Deus Ex Machina coming out, guys, for the Nintendo Switch. We got Link's Awakening, which I know a lot of people are waiting on. I mean, I love the art style. They've gone with that. A lot of people don't, for whatever reason, but I actually love that art style. It's very animated, and it looks spectacular. And Spiral Trilogy, man, that comes out too. That's another one that it's been out for the PS4 and stuff, but the Nintendo Switch is coming out in September. So, like I said, man, some of these games that are coming out. Some of the indie titles, they're coming out as well on like PS4 and Microsoft too. Those type of games are the games I like to put on the Switch because I like to keep those portable. And, I like to play my retro style games on the Switch. I mean, when I travel, which is rare, I have those at my disposal. So I'm going to my grandmother's this holiday season for Thanksgiving. And, all I'm going to pack is the Switch, even though I have a 3DS, a DS, a PSP, all those things. But I will be taking the Switch this time, and I'm going to make damn sure that the library is fat. Those are some of my choices in game releases in September. And there might be more, a week after this or a week after that. I'll definitely let you guys know if something catches my eye. Tokyo Game Show, they might announce some things. There's a new Yakuza game coming out, supposed to be an RPG type of feel to it this time, a turn-based. That's going to be interesting. I'd like to see how that pans out. There's all kinds of things, guys, that I'm not talking about right now because it's just so much, and I had to pick and choose, and I wanted to pick the creme de la creme of my list. So that's what I pretty much went with. One of the other things I wanted to talk about real quick is Game Informer. Game Informer, they apparently, man, had a decent layoff, a huge layoff, and they laid off a lot of people, man. I used to watch their podcast. I still do on YouTube, and listen to their podcasts and things of that nature. And, those magazines used to be, my, They used to make my day. When I used to go to GameStop and get a game, or and get the magazine, or they used to send them to me as well. I used to get those Game Informer magazines, man, and they gave you insight on all that shit, which was pretty fucking dope. And they laid off a lot of the staff, man. And looking at the recent podcast that they were doing, I mean, you could tell that despair was in the air. And this is, looks like the future of, what's going to be happening, because now in today's age, man, everybody's going out on their own, and everybody's like separatists. They're doing their own things, and they're splitting everything, because now with so much content out there, nobody's going to sit there and watch one thing here. They want to go and they want to dip their toes in everything. You know what I mean? So that's why you have these Hulus, these YouTubes, everybody have a fucking network now. Paramount apparently has a fucking network. Paramount has their own fucking network. I've seen some shit with Kevin Costner on that motherfucker or some shit like that. I'm like, what shit? I mean, they're coming out of everywhere. Disney Plus. I mean, there's Crunchyroll, there's Funimation now, and all this other shit. It's so much shit, man. It's crazy. DC has their own company now. I mean, has their own shit. I mean, Amazon Prime has their shit. Like, it's like, yeah, that's just how it is now. It's just the age we live in. So, the same goes for video game reporters and things of that nature, and companies like that. Everybody, you have people reviewing games that, aren't reporters, but some of their reviews, to be honest, are better than, what we get, from these companies. Honestly, hey, it is what it is, I guess. I just thought I'd mention that, guys. And my heart does go out to, those who have lost their jobs, because anytime you lose a job, man, that just sucks, especially over something like that you have no control over. I mean, it's never a good thing. Hopefully they bounce back, maybe start some of their own things, and channels and things of that nature. And that could happen. I mean, a lot of companies do that and have done that. So see where it goes. Last but not least, guys, I want to talk a little bit about some anime that I've been watching. I've been consuming a little anime this past week, man. Like I said, I have a huge list now on Hulu, a gigantic list. And, I'm taking advantage of it. And I'm watching a lot of the anime that I said I was going to watch and that I meant to watch. And, right now I'm currently watching Tokyo Ghoul, and I'm also currently watching Death Note. Those are the two right now that I'm pretty much watching. I binged a little bit on both of those this past week, and I'm enjoying the fuck out of them, especially Death Note. Death Note is really something. You know what I mean? And a lot of people have told me that, I don't know why you haven't watched it sooner, but I'm watching it now. So I guess that's all that matters. You know what I mean? So that's what I've been watching. Oh God, let me just say if you guys haven't been watching Demon Slayer, watch that fucking show. I just finished the latest episode of that. Tanjiro is going to be fucking wet. Okay. He is going to be extremely wet. That is amazing and highly skilled. That is a term that I created. If you guys who don't know, new listeners don't know, that is a term that I use. WETT. It's a made up term. And I say it from time to time. And that's what it means when you hear me say that. Okay. It means amazing and highly skilled. Tanjiro is that guy. And I mean, we just got introduced to a whole new cast of characters. This shit is opening up nicely. Demon Slayer, it's out there. It's on Hulu. Check that shit out if you haven't seen it. Please do yourself a favor and watch that. It is awesome. I'm loving it. Let's move on. I mean, another anime I just finished was, a short anime. It was only one season long. And, I'm liking these anime. There's a lot of these out here too. A lot of these anime with just one, maybe two seasons that, that are really good and you can get into. And, on a day you feel like binging, you can get it done, and just consume more. And this one was High School of the Dead. I really, 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 really loved this anime. It was only like 12 episodes long. And, it did what it needed to do. It was kind of open-ended, in a sense. But I kind of liked the direction they took with it. Yeah, it's got a little light hentai in there. Just a little taste. But I really enjoyed this one. This one was just a sneaker. It kind of snuck up on me, man. I was looking at it and I said, you know what? It's only one season. Let's start it. Let's see what it's about. And it's, basically, some high school kids and then next thing you know, they're in high school 1 second and next second they're dealing with a zombie epidemic. all in the school, just pretty much everywhere, and it just hits all at one time, and it just is crazy. It definitely should be checked out. It inspired me to check out some more new anime. And there's so many. My list, I could just go on and on and on about my list, man, and things that I need to consume. But I'm doing it slowly but surely. Psycho Pass is another one that I'm interested in watching. There's just so many. There are. My hands and plate is completely full with anime for, months and months and months to watch. Then you got new stuff coming out in October with My Hero Academia season 4. And there's a couple other ones that are coming out on Netflix that I've been checking out. I mean, there's so many great things coming. So, like I said, man, I got so many things to watch. That's right now my current watch list is what I've been watching and what I have watched this past week. And yeah, man, that's pretty much been my fucking week. I'm going to get back into some gangster shit out here in these digital streets and 2 shakes of a lamb's tail because there's some Astral Chain that I need to fucking play, guys. I need to unlock all this stuff for my guy, my character, and I need to get into it, man. I love this game. I'll be back next week. I'll be talking about actual whole game, what I've experienced as far as the story and all of that. And then, more news, as I see fit to give. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to get out of here. If you want to follow me on social media, you can definitely do so on Twitter at Studio MacGyver. You can also check me out on Facebook at Studio MacGyver as well. Instagram is Studio MacGyver79. Check out the YouTube channel, Studio MacGyver TV. Check out Beautiful Nerds too. If you like, nerd culture, if you're into that, if you're listening to this podcast, I know for a fucking fact, 110% you will be interested in this site. There's t-shirts, there's hats, there's beanies, there's backpacks, all of these things surrounding nerd culture. So go out, take a look and see what they have to offer, guys. A lot of cool hoodies, a lot of cool t-shirts, based off of games and based off of anime and things of that nature. So check them out whenever you get a chance. They update every month. They add new things. So, Beautiful Nerds, that's www.beautifulnerds.com. Nerds is spelled Nurdz. Give them a shout. Check them out. I'm out of here now, guys. I'm getting my ass out of here. I'm hungry and I want to play Astral Chain. So with that being said, for the last time, this is your boy Studio MacGyver, and you have been listening to Studio MacGyver's Dragon Ball and Video Game Podcast. See you next time.